So let's talk survival and different skills. Um, you know, the thing of it is everybody has kind of like an idea of what survival and prep and everything is. Your typical idea of survival is things like comms or things like how to protect yourself in the event that, you need to bug out or protect yourself and your family and your food. So, obviously those are skills that come in handy. And then, of course, there's the other side, which is gardening, how to save seeds, things of that nature that are just common knowledge. And sorry, I don't know if you can see her, but that's Raven, my little mouse cat that brings in mice all the time. Anyway, so there's just this whole other thing with survival. So food, shelter, obviously, protection. You've got, as far as the food goes, not only gardening and stuff, but also you've got things that you forage for. So knowing what to forage for is a huge thing. So those are some of the common things that everybody talks about when it comes to survival, prep, etc. for, situations and, that apocalyptic situations or even like Civil War type situations. Those all are huge and they come in handy, but one thing that I don't see touched on enough are other skills that I think are survival skills, but they're just not really talked about. But how do you make yourself useful in a SHTF situation? How do you become somebody that people can rely on? Or how do you, help yourself and your family survive these situations? Because there's certain things that you're not going to be able to do. And there's certain things that you might not have the skills for. For example, not all of us are plumbers. We don't know how to fix pipes. We don't know how to, drill a well or do those type of things. We don't know how to fix vehicles, things like that. I'm not bragging, but personally, I'm one of those people who I would consider a lifelong learner. I try to learn as many skills as possible, and I think it's just part of my, being ADHD and, liking to do a lot of different things and having a lot of different skills. I was a mechanic for a long time. That's actually what I went to college for. Now I'm a realtor. So, it's just like I'm all over the place. I do leather work. I do, things like fiber work, like spinning, weaving, knitting, crocheting, etc. If I could name all the skills that I have, they would be many. Everybody talks about hunting and fishing and, foraging for food, but what about the other skills? What about the other things? Because, you can watch all these, apocalyptic films, and one thing that you'll notice about them, and yes, they are totally, out there, obviously. Some of them, the zombie survival films, etc., like The Walking Dead. Obviously, those are situations that may or may not happen, but there is some reality to those things. If you watch like the communities and different things, like who do they take in? Oh, you're a doctor. Okay, they'll be useful. Oh, that person knows IT. They might not be very good about, other things, but maybe they can fix our comms for us if, things go down or whatever. And there might not be room for IT people. You never know, but you have to widen your skill set drastically in order to become a useful person in a survival situation. And that can even be trading skills. So, if you know somebody that knows how to do construction, you might be able to trade one of your skills that you have, like I can fix your vehicle for you, or I can do this, or I can set you up with something, or I can make you clothes, or whatever the case might be. There's a lot of varieties of situations that you could get yourself into and you could find yourself in. But the main goal is to, right now, while things are kind of crazy, we're becoming more self-reliant. We're doing things that we think are self-reliant, like, building our gardens. I've always done my gardens every single year. And that's been a great skill set to have. That's something that you definitely want to do. A lot of people are raising chickens and getting eggs and stuff, and that's great. But there's like a whole nother level of skill set that you need to be learning now in order to make it in a situation where you might find yourself not having the skills necessary to do what you need to do. I mean, for example, you can't just call a plumber in a survival situation. You can't just call somebody to fix electricity or to hook up a solar system or to drill a well. You know, that might not be something that you're able to do. And if you do call somebody because you know that they're a person that has a skill that you don't have, how are you going to repay them? What do you have that they need? Because what if they're gardening too? They might not need food. They might not need certain things that you have to offer. And then they're going to go, nope, sorry, no deal. You don't have anything that I need. So a skill set or many skills is going to be the ultimate survival skill, really, if you think about it. The more you know, the more useful you become, and the more your survivability goes way up. You're going to be in a much better position than somebody who just only knows the basics. And I don't see that talked about nearly enough in these situations. So that's just some food for thought. I know it is what it is, but right now is a good time to learn a skill. Learn something new, something that you might have been interested in. If you're interested in woodworking or building things, or if you're interested in fiber arts, learn a new skill. Get stuff that's cheap, that you can try, even secondhand stuff, just for the beginning, and see if it's really something for you, and go from there. But I've learned several different skills from woodworking. I build my own beehives. I do different things, and I try to push myself to do more creative things and more extreme sides of the spectrum. And I may not be amazing at it, but I can do it. And that's the thing that's going to set you apart from everybody else in a survival situation. So I think that's something to really think about and consider and start doing it. Get in there and start figuring stuff out, because when it comes down to it and it's the last minute, you're not going to learn those skills right off the bat, because we can all, learn how to preserve and do those things, preserve food, dehydrate, can, whatever the case might be. But when it comes to other skills like plumbing and, doing different things that you've never tried before, that you've always just called somebody to do, to fix things, to whatever the case might be, those aren't going to be an option for you. And if they are, you need to have another skill set in order to trade for the work being done, something that somebody is going to want. So really strongly consider that. Consider what I say, because I think it's going to be absolutely something that's necessary in the times coming that we have here, because we're not going to be just comfortable playing video games and watching TV for long. We're going to actually have to get in there and get our hands dirty and do something about it. So take what I say to heart, and you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I think it's going to be something that's very useful and very needed in the future. So anyway, have a good day. Bye.